And let's start the questions. So somebody wants to just watch the video can watch the video, and somebody wants to watch the questions can watch only the questions and answers. So let's start with Hadassah. Do I spell your name right?
It's Hadassah.
Hadassah. Okay, cool. Yep. Interesting name. Never heard it before.
It's so different.
How do you start, and if you have any questions or you want to talk about stuff?
I guess something I'm kind of wondering about, we have actually a litter of puppies right now with our Mastiff girl, and we're really wanting to, get them started off right. This is our first litter we've had, and we want to, do everything to get their new homes started off on the right foot with socializing and with all of that. And, like you were saying, you don't want to just kind of throw them into a room with a bunch of people to socialize them.
Right.
And, they need the consent and that. How would you start out then socializing a little puppy with? I mean, would you just kind of try to guide the people that they're being exposed to before they're exposed to it a little more?
That's a good question. So let's put things out. Does anybody have an answer on that quick?
I just want to add that on Mastiffs, because of their growth line, they mature slower. So though early puppy socialization is important, they also hit a stage at about 9 months where if they're not really pushed with socialization, you could face problems for their entire life with you.
Right.
Okay. Anybody else? Steve, you want to answer that question?
I didn't get part of that question.
The question was how to socialize the puppies, how to start socializing Mastiff puppies.
Mastiff puppies? They're independent thinkers like Great Pyrenees. Aren't they?
Okay. Anybody else? Roberta? Help me remember your name again. You just called in from Florida. What's your name again?
You are talking about me?
Yeah.
Mimi?
Amy.
From Ocala? Yes. Mimi.
Okay.
M-I-M-I.
Amy, okay. So Amy, would you like to answer the question?
Well, I think about socialization, it depends the age of the puppy. And obviously, the window of socialization for the puppy is going to be from 8 weeks to 12 weeks. Then early, the mother is going to imprint some of the reactions on the puppy. Then if you are asking about socialization with humans, then I think little by little, you are going to start with your family, with people that they're handling with the dogs with, delicate. And then one by one is, as you said, you're not going to fill the room with humans and touching the dogs. But is the exposure that you're going to bring the dogs every day until the dog, obviously, you need to be very careful because the dog needs to be fully vaccinated until he is, open to the world. But because you don't want that your puppy gets sick. Then be careful even with humans, how they maneuver, how they touch them, and use the common sense first with your family, and then the mom, the dog mom is gonna teach him the first steps. Mm-hmm. If the mom is socialized, is well socialized, and remember, the temperament, 80% of the temperament of the puppy, it comes from the mom, and the physique from the dad. Then if the mom is a very mellow and good dog, the puppies has half of the race. That's it, no?
I would add, we have basically 3 phases. We have the natal phase where the mother basically teaches the puppy the inter-mother socialization, meaning is the information comes in how to I communicate with my authority, how do I communicate individually, what is respect, what is time, what is power, bite inhibition. All these things are being learned the first couple of weeks of the puppyhood. The next level will be basically when the puppy starts being more social, and what we call about social and we call about into families is, as Ellie said, from the 8 weeks and after, when puppies start learning intersocialization with the same litter mates. So puppies learn from authority first, and then they go into the friendship status. They learn with their peers how to interact with each other. How do I become a part of that game? Part of that game has rules and limitations. If I bite everybody's face, everybody will not play with me. I can scare dogs, my friends, and I can feel confident about my friends, and friends can be kind of pushy, and if they push me, then I can surrender, and then we have all these intersocial games. So the first couple of weeks until the month of 6 and 7 basically is about learning to interacting and respecting, reading messages, giving answers, giving replies, creating clear boundaries and clear limitations of my space and my emotions. So from that aspect, socialization is basically bringing new people in my house and start observing the puppies and let them recognize when the puppy is ready to be touched. When is the puppy ready to be lifted? When is the puppy ready to be played with? When is the puppy showing me fear? Because most of the people that we invite and want to socialize the puppy have no clue about them.
Right.
So we want to teach them first. Hey, this puppy is not just cute, and it's not just a pet. It's an animal that speaks a language. Now, we are a family, and this is how we rule here. If you have a problem with it, talk to me. If you want to lift the puppy, tell me. Don't grab the puppy. Don't push the puppy. Don't flip it around. Don't do things you would do to a toy, because the toy don't live, the puppy does. So if you lift the puppy on your own and you turn it around, you put your puppy in a mindset with his own free will or not. And so that's why puppies, especially in that age, when they go to the veterinarian or go to a groomer and being handled without respect of that part, they become reactive to strangers. I don't know, you're my family. I don't want to go to the vet. All these strangers want to touch me. And especially these guys that they hurt me in the back, and the 3 guys were holding me because I was a Mastiff or a Great Dane, and they think the bigger I am, the harder they have to hold me. So that's happening. I've seen hundreds, or not thousands, but hundreds of clients who called me when I called them back and says, when did this behavior start? And the question was it before or after the vet visit? 80% of those whose dogs are reactive to strangers says, well, basically the second they would get out of the vet. And the dog's just being reactive to the leash. And you would trace it down to the trauma and says, well, you who held the leash, you transported the dog who trusted you, put him in a room with strangers, and you walked out of it, and they did whatever they did. And you put the dog in there without his consent. Ta-da! Trauma is there. Now, the dog doesn't trust you on the leash because last time he trusted you, he ended up in trouble. And the last time you were showing him people, they just grabbed him and pushed him and poked him, and ouch, it hurts. Like, you guys suck. The authority, I don't know, I'll take care of my business. And that's where the trauma kicks in. Now go fix that part, because you have to fix that trauma, create back establishing your relationship, and then start building up trust. You kind of like dimensions back at the very beginning, like at Stone Age in your relationship. So it's very important, especially for dog trainers and you guys who are working with dogs, especially, rescues and dogs. Assume there is a trauma of manhandling, trauma of lack of consent. You come to approach, hey, I'm not the same guy. I respect your time. You growl at me, it's fine. I get your point. You're scared of me. I totally get it. I will not face you. I'm not a predator to you. You can have my butt if you want. You can smell my butt first if you like. I'm a cool guy. Good. Okay. Now, whenever you're ready, you let me know, right? I'm going to leave right now because I don't really care. I'm not my business what you're doing here. I'm just here to help you. So if you need help, just let me know. And back off. Pull your energy out. And I've seen people who really hard want to help the dog and come with this predator. I want to help you here. I'm your helper. You're going to listen to me because without me, you're going to die. He doesn't need that. You would know that either. You've been in a strange country, been in prison, a guy comes up to you like that, you're like, you know what? I want to talk to my mom. I don't want to talk to you at all. So I think, did this answer your question?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Roberta, your question.
Well, how do we start when I've got two of them? You know, and they're just playing with each other all the time. They're biting at each other's faces, and
Good.
you know, it's just all play session right now. And I am not taking them out because they don't have all their shots yet. They just started the vet.
How old are they?
4 months.
Okay. So first of all, I want to make clear that puppies have to sleep a lot. A puppy has to sleep about 18 hours minimum per day. Sleeping, growing, eating, pooping. That's pretty much it. So just like children, and I see a lot of pictures of children in the background, if children get too tired, they get too tired to go to sleep. And they get crampy. And they get upset and whining and growling and yamming. And what happens here is you have to create the environment for them to be able to rest.
Yeah, they do.
And darkness is a perfect place to do that. So if you want the puppy to sleep, you cannot have him in the kitchen during lunchtime. He has to be in a room very quiet and see nature, how quiet nature is. And imagine how you would feel like being in a hole, in a den, in a safe space, surrounded by nice and quiet pieces. There is only one exit. That's a safe place to be. I'm going to exactly a strategic point. I can view and everything is calm. If something happens, I'm aware of. A bedroom, a crate, a nice confined place. It's a perfect place for the puppy to sleep overnight. And routine. It doesn't matter what size, breed, routine is the magic tool to the puppy trust the authority, because he doesn't need to worry about food. He doesn't need to be worried about danger. He doesn't need to worry about playtime and learning time. So I think after a dog's playtime, he needs 6 hours of rest to process what he learned. All this memory has to be divided in safe and unsafe, secure and unsecure, in important and not important, and that has to be distributed through all the cell walls, through all the cells' bodies, because a brain dog is very small. It doesn't fit all this information there. So it's been split and divided and being processed to things that the body can do on its own and things the dog has to think about. So playing is basically learning to control my body, controlling my bite, controlling my body in general. So the dog needs a lot of rest to be able to process the whole thing. Now, let the puppies play with each other after they had individual time with learning lesson with the authority, which is you as a mother. And to make clear, the authority is not a person who is tough, is not a person who is strict. Authority is the person I trust to listen to the message. I trust a doctor to tell me I'm sick and I'm going to die in 5 weeks and I need the medication or stop smoking or I will be dead. Why do I trust him? Is he my mother? No, but he's an authority. I trust him. If I ask my lawyer what to do and he tells me I should do this, I better trust him or I end up in trouble. If a cops pull me over and tell me I'm wrong, I says, well, yeah, I guess you're right. So he's an authority. It doesn't mean they're mean. And I see some point that people have problems with authority because of the childhood, and I get that. I have the same problem as well. But we have to see the concept of authority of somebody who has control as a parent. So I would call it parent, but in fact, from the energetic level, it's an authority. The dog sees you as an authority, but you are the parent. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So structured playtime. Let the puppy get the energy out first, get the structure first, and then you can put them together. So these two guys are not energy release points. Their life together is not to get rid of the energy with each other as hard punching as possible in the shortest amount of time. It's about learning to socialize each other, learning respect from each other. You bite me, I bite you back. Oh, you hurt me, yeah, because you hurt me too. Oh, I don't want to hurt you. Well, I don't want to hurt you either. So don't bite me. And if you bite me, I have two options. I have to walk away or bite you back. And I have to start encouraging this as a mother, supervising them, and pull the guy away who is not respecting the other guy. So if one yelps He's not a weak guy. He's being pushed too hard by the other guy. So how do I change that? First of all, more sleep, less stress. Make sense?
Yes.
Now, a most important factor is healthy food. And I'm not going too far into that, but healthy food will reduce 30% of excitement, which leads to biting, because a puppy will constantly be in hunger and in prey drive, which leads to biting. So you lower that down, you have less excitement with the puppies. Now, there's a long story about whether or not more protein or more calcium. I'm not a vet. I cannot give you that answer. I know the answer, but I will not give you that answer. But you can look at books. There are many books out there who are very, high recommended. I can give you some books to read about. Quality protein, quality ingredients make all the difference. If I have a problem with a client, the first thing I do is check his food. The first question is, what do you feed? And you hear all these weird brands. Get rid of it. Dump it. Well, I thought it's quality. I know, I understand. Read the ingredients and then dump it. But dump it. And now I give them ingredients. Choose this, choose that, or go raw. And make it right. Not just cooking chicken and rice. That's not raw feeding. Okay? And all of a sudden, you don't need me anymore because everything is fine. And now, by the way, one dog is already hungry, so hungry that he starts challenging the other dogs because it goes into prey drive.
So I should be separating them when we're working with them?
Yeah, separate them, work with them individually, and when they're calm, put them together.
Okay, okay.
Okay? So anybody else?
I got to get to the kennel, Roman.
Okay, any questions?
No.
Good. Steve, any questions?
No. Well, yeah, that we're going to go into. We've been documenting this.
Yeah.
Early weaned puppies. We're talking 4-week-old taken away from mama in litter.
Yeah.
We're starting to see problems at 2 and 3 years old.
Yeah.
And it's bad. It's real bad. We've got, and these are litters, not just one of the dogs out of the litter.
Right.
Dispersed across the country. These are litters. Now, I had one of them at the kennel, Bull River. I worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and worked with Bo, and we got him going. But still, resource guarding is their primary thing with their early wean.
Did you ask Mom if she wanted any more? Did you give the hot dog anymore?
Like I said, we are documenting this. I don't have it on this computer. It's in our database and on my kennel computer.
Yeah, you want to share it with me if you want. We can talk about it. So what I see here, basically, if you have dogs who come from that experience, usually they lack on ethics and morals, which is pretty much the first couple of weeks of the puppy's hood. The mother, the first thing she does is teach him ethics and morals, what you should do and what not. Don't bite my face more than it hurts. This is how much you can bite me. If you don't listen to me, I'm going to hurt you back. But you can only teach the dog moral if you have an authority respect. And that's the hard work. It's kind of like, remember back in the 70s in the Bronx, you're going to teach somebody morals? Why he stole your tires? Seriously? You just ask him that questions? You're that man. Don't ask the questions. Don't be there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I see how hard it is to get to that point. So you have to be very careful how we approach it. You better become friends first before you put yourself in as an authority to teach him the lesson you want. And that's the tricky part. Because regularly you come in as an authority and say, hey, I'm the authority, everybody does what I want. Right? But in that case, for a tough dog who sees you already as a predator, he will react to you as a predator. So you have to come in kind of like a prey. Like, hey, I have nothing, you can hurt me anytime, but I have the right to fight back because I'm a prey, and a prey has a right. And every dog knows that. It's in his DNA. If you chase somebody, you can get hurt. If somebody attacks you, you have the right to defend yourself. So you want to come from a different angle and says, I have rights as a defender to kill you back. So don't touch me. You're a predator. I have the right to defend myself. And you come from a different angle. So I'm talking to a professional here, okay? That's not a regular answer. But if you work with tough guys, you want to check that angle first. Okay? thank you. I know you guys have to go back to feed the dogs, so thank you very much for joining today. You can watch the rest on recording.
Okay.
Good. Any other questions?
Okay. No, no for me. Unfortunately, the audio was so bad that I just listen maybe less than the others. But all right, thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. So, Hadassah and Roberta, you guys are left. Any other questions you guys have?
I don't believe so right now.
Good. So how do you feel about what you learned so far today?
I think it was good information. I mean, it's a lot of, I have a lot of kind of chaos in my house. I have a 3-month-old baby and a 4-year-old and 6-year-old kids. So, I mean, it just kind of helped, you know, especially with hearing, you know, that you specifically want to work with the puppies when you're calm. So I feel like, you know, that's kind of something that I'll want to kind of separate out and, you know, take some time away just one-on-one with the dog and kind of step away from my kids and kind of chaos.
Right. Roberta, how about you? Did you learn
well,
anything
we're
today?
just beginning. I need to get, you know, and we need to get instruction on, because I have not been putting collars or on them because of their rough housing that they do. And so we need to start doing that. And that's what I need to work, you know, like, okay, what's the first step I need to do? I know I need to separate them now. So.
Right. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, for joining today, and wish you good night. I will keep everybody posted for the next workshop, which is kind of the continuous of the first couple of weeks, go a little bit more into between 7 and 12 months old, where things are getting a bit more tougher, dogs are a bit bigger, and I'll keep you guys posted.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.